Hello. We hope this is working. We've just had a poor Wi-Fi signal pop up, so we do hope this is working.
We do have BT engineers in the area at the moment.
How do you know that?
Because they're always on the road. They've been up and down with the roadworks, haven't they?
Oh, right. Yeah, that is true. So who knows what's going on? Now, other things this evening are...
Don't we look our best?
Yes, we both may have eye infections. Now, it is fair to say that one of us may have caught it from the other one. But what is fact is we both caught it from the kids. So here we are. It's Wednesday the 18th of April 2018. It's a glorious day. The sun sets out of our door behind us.
We actually look like we're tearful because the sun is shining and the sun.
Oh, I'm emotional. That's it. My eyes are red, raw through crying because of the emotion of the beautiful day. Nothing to do with the eye infection
and
I've got.
And the fact that I'm hanging still and I'm waiting to go to bed.
I know. So that's what you get for going to wedding event launch parties on a school night.
I know, but Tuesday's the new Friday apparently. That was what her pitch was today. So
yeah. Hi Belinda.
Hi Belinda, how are you?
So yeah, no, Tuesday. I don't think Tuesday is the new Friday.
It can't be the new Friday because I couldn't do that every week.
No. Oh. Do you know what? I don't think I could do it at all. I'm happy to be the old and boring parent here. But yeah, even the thought of a hangover is... quite scary when, Emily didn't stay here last night. I was here with the kids, and my morning, all three children were awake by 5:45. So I was awake by 5:45.
And I think I said in my life earlier. I stayed at a friend's in Andover last night from London. From London back to Andover. And the M25 was closed, and the M40 was closed, and then we ended up going all the way to Oxford to get back down to Andover. So at 2 a.m, I'm like, why am I still up? I have to get up in the morning. So I got up and drove straight back to help you with the school run. Yes, you did. You did. Much appreciated. I was ready early, but there we go. That's probably more about me. Hi Charlotte. Charlotte, you're on our list of people to mention tonight. Yeah.
We need to know where this woods is you go foraging, because at no forest round here do I reckon we could go foraging.
Well, I bet you could, but you'd have to really but you might tread on broken needles.
Yeah, apologies, we're going to talk locally for a minute, but I reckon if you went to Manor Farm, because there's some sort of
it was no war.
Yeah, like SEO, all of that sort of stuff. Special Executive SOE, Special Operations.
It was a hidden
executive.
army base.
Yeah, so there's probably loads of stuff there. But we are absolutely gobsmacked by your
You are
haul,
our Gold
Charlotte.
Star bride this week.
Gold Star bride, Charlotte. Well done.
So the other thing we were going to quickly talk about was that someone posted this week, and we thought it was a brilliant idea. I think it might have been Lauren Casey.
I can find out really quickly.
Lauren in this group, she's getting married.
It is Lauren. Well done. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And maybe hungover by stuff from memory.
Yeah.
Lauren posted that she thinks it would be a good idea to start a little bit of a round robin when it comes to hire items and things you might be using for your weddings, and being able to, in the good scheme of, a bit like Charlotte has with her bottles and going to source things themselves, being a bit more ethically sourced and being responsible and recycling and stuff. If you've been using stuff for your wedding and you want to move it on to other brides in the group, be it at a cost or be it because you just want it out of your house, that's a really good idea, and we love that idea. I think definitely help each other out with that. And let's face it, most of you are going to have very similar thoughts and ideas about what you're doing in terms of the outdoors, and it'd be lovely to support that. So if anyone would like to do that, I think we could maybe set up a can we do like an event page or something like that?
Well, I don't think we need to. I think if you've got it, post it in the group, and then post what you've got ready to move on. We'll decide if we want selling. Selling is very different to saying I've got this going.
As you've already probably noticed, we are definitely not a salesy group at all.
Well, I'm in other groups. I'm in some car groups, and selling is banned just because of the potential complexities from it. But certainly a a chat about what's going to be taken offline is not a problem.
Absolutely.
But, no, I don't think I think I'm going to make it. I'm calling it now.
Okay.
No direct selling in the
group. Do it if you want to do it in direct messages. Feel free.
Yeah, that's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
Just because of the potential. I know in other groups the admins get called in to be involved, and it's an absolute minefield.
You don't want to be a referee.
No, I don't. That's not why we're in the Outside Bride. We're in the Outside Bride to stay happy, be happy, and deal with happy people. And when someone's not happy, it's a very, very, very different ball game. If I've made them unhappy, that's fine. I'll deal with it. But if I'm not, and I'm just being a mediator.
In other news, Baylily Bell Tents, our other guys, is opening or has opened.
We got a heart there.
Oh, thanks. Baylily Bell Tents has opened bookings for 2019, or we're already taking bookings for 2019. I was doing a post on our actual business page today about our bookings going ahead, and it's something we've mentioned in this group before as well. If you have key suppliers, be it bell tents, be it marquees, be it anything else, do try and get those people booked in well in advance, because we
fill up really quickly.
I've had two solid weeks, the last 2 weeks, of turning people away, and I hate turning people away because we like to try and do one wedding a weekend as much as possible, or for larger scale villages, because we like to be able to give 110% to each village we do. So we get booked up really, really, really far in advance, and I hate saying no to people. So when you're thinking about your grand scheme of plan and what you're trying to do, think about all your little details.
Definitely.
Because booking a bell tent village, either with us or whatever company you're using, trying to book, because you look outside today and there's the blue sky today, and you're like, oh yes, blue sky, summer, oh I must book this, and it's usually about a month before your wedding, and we ain't got capacity.
Yeah, I just realised I'm sat here like this, by the way. No, we don't have capacity.
So be it us or be it any other kind of key supplier that you're looking for, especially caterers and especially your venues. We work quite closely with a country house venue who have taken 3 bookings, luckily, because 2018 is quite a quiet year for some places. But
quite a lot, actually. 2018 seems to be one of those.
Quite a quiet year.
Well, it's a Glastonbury fallow year,
yeah,
and my theory is. Well, I'm 100% convinced it is, because I know many businesses who are having a slightly quieter year than normal.
But they've taken people looking for venues this year, and it's trying to fit. It's getting your event. You might get your venue aligned to what you want, and it's great to do at the last minute. But then you have to think: will you get the supplier you want for your catering? Will you get the supplier you want for your entertainment? And it's getting that kind of timeline of people booked in well in advance. Now, people like us, we don't take large scale deposits. We because we do guest villages where we get guests to book their own tents through us, and we only ask for small holdables. And it's worth asking any of your suppliers, depending on what you're booking, what your booking terms are, because you might find actually it's cheaper to do it in advance, because you can just put a holding deposit on and pay either instalments or 14 days before your event, all those kind of things. Just ask, because you'd rather get things booked in early and know that they're sound and in place than not at all and be disappointed.
Yeah, no, totally.
What does Charlotte say?
Charlotte says, well, 2 things actually. First of all, she nearly cut herself on an old saw, and her aunt is the amazing person finding all this stuff.
She's awesome.
Your aunt's awesome. We love her. And second of all, Charlotte's put, I agree, I booked my 2019 wedding in 2016.
Yeah.
Charlotte, we're going to be honest, as a business, we love people like you. Thank you. Thank you for existing.
One of our June weddings was a 2015-2016 booking as well. It's just get it over and done with. It's just one of the things.
Well, it's true, isn't it? If you know you want it and you know you want them. So, funny enough, that's an interesting point. So, I'm in a few sort of wedding-y Facebook groups just to, see what's going on, if we're honest. And I regularly see 2 questions come up. One's about insurance, that we've covered a million times and we will cover again. Mm-hmm. And the second question I see is about paying suppliers and trusting suppliers and paying by backs, which feels like cash but isn't quite cash, because there is an electronic transfer. And really, it's you've kind of got to trust. You've got to go with it, because 99% of suppliers are genuine. So you have to roll with that. And with insurance is probably the other question. Did I just say insurance?
Yes, you did.
Oh man, sorry everyone. I sat here and thought I haven't said insurance. So yeah, long story short, you get your insurance in place, you book your key suppliers or the ones you're very passionate about. You know, even if you want, I'm trying to think of a less key, but I don't want to do anyone a disservice. I'm going to pick laser clay shooting because I really don't want to. No, can I not even talk properly?
Or
no, it's called a photo booth. There we go. If you want a specific photo booth that does a specific style, just book it. Just book it. You know, because 99 times out of 100 it's going to be fine, and if it's not fine, you'll have insurance to cover you. So absolutely get it booked in to avoid disappointment. That's mandatory. Really, isn't it?
Yeah, what else do we have to say? I'm loving this shirt this week. It's a bit understated.
Well, do you know what I was thinking? So, for those who follow Ask an Expert every Wednesday at 8 p.m, and Emily's not here next week, but is going to try and join in from the airport, which the reality is it may not happen. However, I was thinking, as long as I can get the kids in bed on time, which they're pretty good, I was thinking of wearing my yellow wedding suit next Wednesday. Because Emily's not here and currently it's going to be me and me alone. So, I don't know, look, I'm not asking for everyone to go, yay, Alan, do that, because I'm not that type of person. But if you think me wearing my... Right, there we go. I've got a thumb and a smiley face already. So I had to
wear it at the bloody wedding. We don't need it on the game.
Well, the story goes that I was never going to get married, and I said to some friends, if I ever get married, I'm getting married in a yellow suit, because yellow is my favourite colour. So when I proposed to Emily in 2011, I got a text off a friend after I'd gone, I proposed to Emily, blah, 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 going, I take it you're getting married in a yellow suit then. And it was one of those, it wasn't like oh no, I've got to do it. It was, okay, I might as well make it happen. But I'm going to save my yellow suit story for next week.
Okay. Well, the arrival of the yellow suit, like the start, the obtaining of the yellow suit.
Obtaining of the yellow suit. So I didn't look like the mask. I may put. I tell you what I'm going to do. Next week's Ask an Expert reminder. I will put a picture up of me in my yellow suit with Emily, in her blancmange dress. Oh, she looked lovely. Emily looks lovely every day. Look at her; she looks lovely every day.
Look lovely today. I'm hanging
so we're going to do that. I will do that for next week for a bit of amusement.
There are no questions in this group today.
Well, I was trying to decide if there was no questions. I mean, we've got a few people watching, which is fab. So if you do have a question, feel free to ask away. We were going to talk about fields.
Oh yes. So. Did anyone see our latest blog post this week, which was the brilliant? Oh, I loved it. The yurt wedding. It was at Venus Fields, and it was. I can't think of the names, and that's really going to bug me with the names of the couple.
Fiesta Fields.
Ben and Bridget, and can you check who it is? I like to think.
Yeah, I just got. You keep talking. I'll let.
And their yurt wedding was gorgeous, and I absolutely loved it, and the decoration was beautiful, and the flowers were to die for. I literally, if I could redo our wedding, one thing I would think that the colours and the bouquets were beautiful.
This one?
Yes, who was that?
Ben and Juliet, not Bridget, sorry. That was a guest written post by Kim Thackeray from Fiesta Fields, and I wanted to do a little, and it's not a plug, it was to talk about how people can find... What's that? My hand's out like that. No, I was laughing at the plug part because it's really difficult because we're not always plugging, but sometimes we've got to talk about it.
Anyway, but if we do think of things that are of value to you and the kind of organisations you can find that can help you source your day, then we will always give our thoughts and feelings about things. So there's a company called Fiesta Fields, and they are based in Surrey. They do West Sussex and others, but I'm sure there are other companies. Well, no, there's probably nothing like Fiesta Fields actually, but they are in effect a broker for finding some amazing spaces, and they connect couples to fields and farmers, and they event manage as well on top of that, so they are helping with supply sourcing and all that kind of stuff. So
there's some stunning bits of land.
Venus Fields is one of their fields, and Kim very kindly wrote this piece, and we featured it this week. But it kind of flags up how to find field. Where do you start? And obviously I think we've probably touched on this before as well, but I wanted to touch on it again because of this lovely piece that Kim did. We wanted a field in a specific location. We knew where we wanted to get married. We just didn't know how to find the field, and we ended up just knocking on farmers' doors. We just
it was probably backtracking a little bit. Yeah, so we knew where we wanted to get married. We didn't know exactly where, so we basically got an OS map. and then drove round, didn't we? We drove round until we saw the view we wanted.
Yeah, and it was the exact view, because we got married in Dorset in the Purbex, and we wanted to see the Isle of Wight on one side, and the other direction we saw Corfe Castle, and it was a very specific location because we wanted, with our windows of our marquee, to be able to look at almost like pictures of both.
So while you're talking, Charlotte, where are you getting married? If you can write that, because that may affect the answer, as in county, and then we'll come back to your question. Thank you.
So, but people like Fiesta Fields, who it's a in between of just leaving you to it to do everything, but having that hand holding if you need the event management side as well. And the girls there are amazing. They can help you in terms of they've found the locations, and one of their locations, I think it's called Spirit Lake, and it's just stunning. It gives you that blank canvas to do what you want in the event, but it's already they've checked it out for what you need for power, what you need for water, all that kind of stuff. But then there are other kind of organisations like Land for Events, and the other one is Hire a Field for Hire, hireafield.com. And there again, you can go onto their websites, and they will list loads of different types of fields that farmers or any other landowners might be able to give you for your event, or hire you for your event, and it will list there, and often will list on that what the access is like, if there's electricity, how long your hire is for. So it's worth checking out. Things like Fiesta Fields, Hire a Field, and events, Land for Events are the three.
Definitely. And make a bit of an adventure from it. That's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah. What's Charlotte's question?
Right, Charlotte's question. Her and Belinda are having a chat about this right now, but we will help as where we can. Charlotte says, I have something. We are getting married September the 21st.
Nice time of the year.
Nice time of the year. And being outside, it won't be legal. When do you suggest we did the legal bit? We were going to do it on the following Monday, September 23rd, because it's cheaper, but I'm not sure if I'll be annoyed that my wedding certificate is different to our actual wedding day. Would you say do the legal bit before, after, or on the same day? Just get married in Leeds, West Yorkshire. Say hello to our friend Ian. He lives in Leeds. Belinda says, Charlotte, you may find that your registrar office only offer basic legal ceremonies on certain days. Charlotte put, but actually the legal bit will be in Huddersfield. And then Charlotte put, Belinda, they've told me I can do any day, but Monday's the cheapest. Haha. Charlotte, there's an element of opinion here. We have had this before, so there's not a lot of black and white fact around this. I know in Hampshire, and Emily's way more up on this than I am. And
Belinda, don't shoot us for talking about it. It's about choice.
Yeah, don't start on Belinda. We love Belinda. Anyway, there is a choice of doing it on the same day, and I get wanting the certificates to say the same day. However, if you can't do it on the same day, my second choice would be the legal bit before, because the kind of your September 21st big, shenanigans are going to be really exciting. Do you then want to have to kind of go off? Because that's the bit that's going to feel like you've just got married, because that's the one where you've got all your friends and your family there, all your amazing bottle collection, that's going to feature and everything else. Do you then want to kind of have to sneak off, and sneak off to a registry, not sneak off, head off to a registry office? So my thoughts are before, at any point, 1 or 2 days before, or on the same day.
And it really depends on what matters to you the most. I mean, it isn't. I get what your opinion is about having the dates, but what are you going to celebrate? Are you going to your wedding anniversary? Will you celebrate that as your celebrant ceremony, or will you celebrate it as the day you have the legal ceremony? So because you could have two anniversaries, but it's obviously easier to have one. So what matters to you? And obviously saying your vows is important, but which vows is it you want to? Do you want to do the legal bit?
Are you doing the legal bit because you have to? So in which case, it kind of doesn't really matter. No. You could do the Monday before if you really wanted to.
Yeah. But what Adam was saying is
definitely the Woodland wedding will be our wedding. I get that. That makes sense.
And I think that's it. I think when you and Alan hit the nail right on the head in our opinion. But again, don't forget this is just our view, not what you should or shouldn't do. It's the whole. It's the build, isn't it? It's the build, and it's the anticipation, and it's like the.
Agree with Belinda.
It's the family and friends, and the emotion, and the atmosphere, and the music, and everything you're gonna build up to that point. And doing that legal bit beforehand just means it's exciting because you're heading towards getting to that bit. That's the next thing in the chat. This next chapter, next thing to get to. And like Alan says, if you get to that top bit and have your ceremony and have your party and have a hangover the next day, hopefully, and all of that.
Or even if you're flying off on honeymoon.
I'd go on honeymoon, absolutely. You don't. It's then.
Or we can't go to the airport. We just got to pop to the registry office.
Does that detract from the vows you're saying at the registry office as well? So
I think it really depends on how you're viewing the registry office part. If it's just a formality and you're taking the minimum people, then it doesn't matter. But I think even Belinda and us, we all agree that before or on the day would be better.
I mean,
and I don't think afterwards would be as cool.
If you can't do on the day and you don't want and pricing is a big thing. Let's face
totally.
it, pricing does. And if I was saving any amount of money like that, I would definitely go with a cheaper option if it's something like a formality. One of the blogs we featured back in the early days of this.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Sorry,
they had a beautiful Dorset wedding. I think it was an Amy Robertson blog post he did, and it was in Dorset overlooking Kimmeridge, and then they literally just popped into the building straight after, literally as people were having their canapes, and did it straight after in the room, and it was within seconds of having the celebrant ceremony. So if you're going to do it on the day, you either do it first thing in the morning or make it part of that whole experience there and then, but it depends again, your venue might not allow you to be that close to
Charlotte's put, I feel if we do it before the celebrant day, it won't feel as special as we are classed as married. But it's a
celebration.
It's a formality.
It's a formality, and it's not the vows you'll be saying on the day of your ceremony. Your ceremony is what you're committing to. You know, the paperwork will say yes, you're Mr. and Mrs. But it's a legally
binding document. That's all it is.
It's a document. And this is where Belinda can pipe away, because I think you're very good at expressing this, Belinda. Is the ceremony is when you are making your commitment to each other and you are looking at each other face to face and you are vowing to your partner you're going to spend a life together and it's beautiful, and that is your marriage. And I would say if that's, you know, whatever ceremony, that is your marriage. The legal part is just a signature on the certificate. And
I get the whole date thing. I absolutely get everything, but I think it's not a lose-lose situation, but it's certainly not win-win all round. Because even if you do it on the morning of, it may then feel like you've got to get up, zoom off, get back, and then get ready for your big day.
Timings are a big thing.
But
it doesn't matter. If you want to do it on the Monday, do it on the Monday.
No wrong answer.
It really doesn't matter.
No wrong answer.
I would say though, the fact that you're already married doesn't matter, because it's the family and friends there, which is the celebration. And it's the celebration after. And my our friend Claire, who's in this group, who I keep talking about because I'm helping her with her design for her wedding, she is getting married the Thursday before, like a whole week before, 8 days I think, and then she's getting married the following with her ceremony, her reception. Because she couldn't match the venue and her registry office as well, so she's a week ahead, and then having a reception. So she's not having an outdoor ceremony. She's not having a celebrant ceremony at all. She's having a registry office, and then she's having her party afterwards a week apart. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, I don't.
I just think it's just a celebration.
And Charlotte, I hadn't even thought about that. Charlotte's put, yes, that's a good point. We're literally only doing the legal part because we have to. Yeah. I think we'll look at before. I agree with what you're saying. I think the morning of, don't want to see him. I hadn't even thought about seeing each other the morning before.
There are those traditions you want to keep sometimes.
Totally.
It's nice.
You know, because then if you didn't want to wear your wedding dress to the legal part, then that means you've got to get changed twice, or do you just turn up in your trackies, so to speak. And it's a tricky one. I think definitely before is our opinion, and
But I also like the idea of just escaping off on your honeymoon, but doing it on the way to the airport. I kind of like that as well.
Yeah, I got friends who did that. We have friends, Rich and Charlotte. They flew to San Francisco and got married, and didn't tell anyone, and just went and came back married. Yeah, so. And still haven't had a party. But then he says I wouldn't be invited anyway because his wife doesn't like me.
What?
Sorry.
Can I still go if I get...
Yeah, you can go.
I'm liked by most.
Well, actually, I can't confirm she doesn't like me, but he alluded to that. So.
Scandalous.
No, I know.
Scandalous. Anything else on the thread there?
No, Charlotte says I agree, thank you. Charlotte, please keep giving us pictures of your bottles as well. We absolutely
you are what
love
gets
it.
me through the day sometimes, what you find and your foraging and stuff, and yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. I really, really like that whole sourcing your own getting down and dirty and finding stuff. That's amazing.
Right, I think we're going to call it a day.
I think we need to go to bed.
Yes.
These eyes are not good.
Well, the only problem I've got is when I woke up in the night, like I said, because Emily wasn't here, when I woke up in the night to feed Joseph, we had to leave a bag on Sunday. We will be going back for make sure we have a picture of it, please. When I woke up in the night to feed Joseph, it took me like 5 minutes to work out how to open my eyes because they were glued shut. And there's the ridiculous eye infection because of the silly kids who go to school.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
but
I
love
may or may not be here next week. I might even ask Alan if he doesn't mind maybe doing half an hour earlier, so I can definitely be on. But I can't guarantee. I know because kids and stuff. But if I don't see anyone next week, I'll see you in. It'll be in 3 weeks' time because I'm away for 2 Wednesdays.
Hopefully you'll be all right with me. If I can rustle up an expert, I may. But I am. As long as all goes to plan, I will be here in my yellow wedding suit with my how I got my yellow suit story, which I think is a worthwhile story.
Yeah. Yes. It's quite a fun story.
It's quite a fun story.
No, I don't usually placate in that much, but it's quite a fun story. If anyone wants to join Alan and to give him some moral support, feel free. I'm sure he'd like the company. And also, as far as I'm aware, there is no one else in this group getting married in the next 2 weeks, so I've got no one to say yay to.
Yes.
But the week I get back, I know for a fact in this group, Helen is getting married on the weekend of the 11th. So we'll make sure that we have a good celebration on that after next, but then to say it's nearly your wedding time, woohoo! Because we like to be able to celebrate with you. And if you haven't given your wedding dates, let us know because we like to celebrate with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
No, we honestly, we genuinely love this malarkey.
Do we?
Right, yes. I think, let's call it a day. Let's go and have some alcohol to help our eyes, to help numb the pain.
So much. I was doing Jaeger bombs last night. I don't think I should have any more alcohol.
Well, I'm trying my hardest to be super disciplined, inspired by Will Smith on Instagram. Check him out. I'm trying my hardest to be super disciplined at the moment, but to be honest, I am absolutely struggling with grottiness at the moment. So I'm having a drink tonight.
Okay.
Am I waffling?
Yeah. On that note, guys, have a lovely evening. Have a lovely rest of your week.
Yes.
It's meant to be 27 tomorrow.
It's amazing weather tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Excited?
Yeah, that's what I said. I love the hot weather. I live for the hot weather.
Yeah, working in outdoor business, we hope it's hot weather.
Yes.
Right.
Our pleasure, Charlotte. Thank you very much. Take it easy, everyone. Bye.
Bye. It's not fun.
Trying to hang up, sorry.